Ladies and gentlemen, it felt like just yesterday I was bringing you guys some fantastic news about the possibility of Fortnite Mobile returning to iOS sooner than we anticipated with the release of iOS 17 in just a few short weeks. And although I am going to go over updates on that later on in the video, we have something way more important and way more pressing to cover first, and that is the fact that the Supreme Court just had a ruling on the Epic Games and Apple lawsuit. If you don't know, if you're not from the United States, that is the highest of the high law of court in the United States. You cannot go higher. We have literally people who've spent their entire lives studying law, talking about video games and the court system, which is just absurd. Now, as you guys saw from my video a few days ago, we are over 3 years into Fortnite being banned off both the iOS Apple Play Store and the Google Play Store. So I'm not going to give a summary of this case if you guys have no clue what I'm talking about. I'm not sure how you're so out of the loop, but you can check out one of my 10 or so other videos covering this topic. But basically, to sum up what just happened in the Supreme Court, Epic Games took another monumental L. Now, if you don't know why, but to give a little bit of backstory, back in 2021, when the original court case was concluded, the judge decided that the Apple App Store's practices are a little bit predatory, they're a little bit unfair and kind of like monopolistic, requiring app developers to only use the Apple payment processor. And that original judge said that at some point in the future, Apple would have to update their systems, allowing third-party payment processing systems to come in, and basically Fortnite would be able to come back on the App Store if this was the case. But yeah, as we could see, the Supreme Court says Apple can keep its App Store payment rules for now. So the only thing, the literal only thing that Apple won in the original court case, the Supreme Court just overruled it, meaning Epic Games is basically like over 100 at this point. There's really no positives that came out of the original lawsuit. But to get some more insight, the article says the Supreme Court has rejected Fortnite publisher's Epic request to make Apple loosen its App Store rules as the legal battle progresses. A judge declined to vacate a stay on a lower court order about Apple's anti-steering rules, which limit how iOS app developers can direct users to alternate payment methods. The district court order was one of Epic's limited wins in a high-profile antitrust case over iOS App Store in-app purchase fees. A judge determined that Apple had violated California's unfair competition law by preventing developers from using links to direct users to payment methods outside of the App Store. And the article finishes up by saying, but the Ninth Court of Appeals ordered a stay on that part of the ruling, giving Apple 90 days to petition the Supreme Court and see if its appeal was taken up. Epic pushed the Supreme Court to overrule the Ninth Circuit, saying it would not only injure Epic, but innumerable consumers and other app developers for a significant period of time. And if you guys really care, this right here is the Supreme Court's website, which you can see like court cases and things, and you can see Epic Games versus Apple. And August 9th, the application something was denied by Justice Kagan. Now again, I want to point out the absurdity that I was just on the Supreme Court's website showing a ruling of a recent filing for Fortnite Mobile. That is how deep down the rabbit hole this whole thing has gotten. And once again, I want to bring it back in. There's been a lot of legal mumbo jumbo. I just rambled off. There's been a lot of words. You might not know what it means, but basically what just happened is the Supreme Court overruled the initial judge's decision to require Apple to allow third-party payment processing solutions on their platform. This is the entire thing Tim Sweeney was originally suing about. He wanted it so that Apple would allow third-party payment processing systems like the Epic Games payment processor that they got the whole game removed off the App Store and the whole game banned off the Google Play Store. And the literal highest law in the entire land of the United States just said, that's not happening, chief. You just wasted 3 years of your life and probably tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars on legal resources to just lose to Apple. And all of this was virtually for nothing, because at the beginning there was a light at the end of the tunnel, and it was this. It was the one thing that was just denied, was the one thing that could eventually make Apple be required by lawmakers to open up its ecosystem and allow some extra development in regards to payment processing systems. But no, it's not gonna happen. There is virtually no other large points that Epic won. Apple has now dominated Epic Games in this lawsuit, and I just don't know what to say. The entire time the community has wanted nothing more than to just be able to play the game, to just play the game. But it feels like at the end of the day, because of this ruling, this is all for nothing. We wasted years of our lives waiting for the game to come back, only for the game to maybe never return to any app store other than being on the Android ecosystem. But that is where I have one final caveat. If you are watching up to this point in the video, then you're probably really wanting to play Fortnite Mobile on iOS, and I don't blame you, because I am too. And I mentioned at the beginning, and I've mentioned previously about a month ago, that the new iOS 17 update may allow Fortnite Mobile to return to the App Store. Now, I'm going to make this crystal clear. What I'm about to say is a good bit of speculation, because both Apple and Epic Games have kept their lips sealed on this issue. They have locked their lips throwing away the key. There is no information regarding the legitimacy of Fortnite Mobile returning to iOS via the new iOS 17 update. But if the iOS 17 update comes and Fortnite Mobile is not able to be sideloaded with it, then there's a really good chance that Fortnite Mobile might not ever be able to play it on iOS again. Now, the reason the game might be able to return via iOS 17 is because of a feature called sideloading. Now, this is the only reason people can still play Fortnite Mobile to this day on Android. It's because you have to go to Google, go to Epic Games' website, download their Epic Games Store launcher, and then within their own app, you then are able to download Fortnite. It's about 3 or 4 more additional steps than just originally being able to go to an app store, look up Fortnite, and download it. But if you really want to, you can play Fortnite on Android. Now, with iOS 17, it is being required by EU lawmakers and regulators that Apple, before the year 2024, so basically this calendar year, they have to allow users to sideload apps on iOS, because to this day, you are not able to download an app on your phone if it does not come from the App Store. Now, the reason this is a huge deal is because the Supreme Court just ruled that within the United States, it doesn't look like Fortnite Mobile is going to be having a very good chance to return anytime soon. Like I said, it looks like probably never at this point, but within a few years, if Fortnite Mobile is still kicking or Fortnite's still kicking and they want to bring back to mobile and the court case all settled, maybe it'll come back in like 2026, 2027. But because of this sideloading feature, there is a good possibility that if you live within the EU, when the new iOS 17 update rolls out, there will be a sideloading feature which will allow you to go to the Google Chrome application or the Safari web browser, look up Epic Games' website, download a similar file, similar APK that you do for the Android version of Fortnite, and you install an Epic Games Store on your phone that way. Now, once again, this is all speculation. This is not confirmed, but due to how strict EU lawmakers and regulators are being regarding iOS 17 sideloading, it looks like there is a pretty strong possibility that at a bare minimum, you'll be able to play Fortnite Mobile on iOS come September, which is about 4 weeks from now when the iOS 17 update finally launches. But there is still a chance that Apple is super petty and doesn't allow Epic Games to be a company that can sideload apps. We really don't know how sideloading is going to work as a whole. I have done extensive research, but it seems like at this moment in time, sideloading is a super hush feature coming to iOS 17 because Apple is most likely going to lose out on a good chunk of revenue because apps are no longer being downloaded from the App Store. So at this moment in time, there is no confirmation regarding Fortnite Mobile returning to iOS in the EU in September because of iOS 17, but it looks pretty probable. So for anyone outside of the European Union, which is about 7 billion people, it looks like we are out of luck, myself included, especially everyone in the United States. We just keep catching L's in this court case. It's not looking really good, and I have absolutely no clue when Fortnite Mobile might return. But like I've been doing for the last 3 years, I'm gonna keep you guys updated. If there's a way for people outside of the EU to play Fortnite, if it comes to iOS 17, let me make that very clear. I will keep you guys posted. I'll keep you guys posted on the court case. We're gonna see this thing through. I don't care if I have to post Supreme Court videos in 2029. I'm gonna keep you guys updated on all things Fortnite Mobile. And well, the next big update is probably gonna be when iOS 17 comes out. So I'll keep you guys updated. Make sure you guys are subscribed if you haven't already, and rip Fortnite Mobile.